How's everyone doing? Good.
Funny.
Yeah.
Derek Hall, just what have you seen from him, and just what have you seen from him?
A lot of growth. From the time I got here, I feel like he's a really confident person, and he was a confident player when I came here. And now it's kind of he's understanding what he's really good at, what are his superpowers, and how he uses them in run and pass. He's doing a great job.
Given
Sorry, no.
given how many guys were out last week on
Yeah.
defense, how do you evaluate the effort and the outcome of that game?
I feel like the effort was there. I feel that it could have been, it wasn't to our standard. If I'm really honest, I thought like we was talking about it in the room with the guys. It was like there's some effort plays there, and I feel like, but if we're gonna, it's just a real honest evaluation. You're not obviously where you need to be yet. And when you see that, it's like, okay, where are the areas that we need to grow, the consistency that we need to grow with, and that's kind of the biggest evaluation of last week.
Has that evaluation helped to boost the confidence of guys, knowing that, hey, look, this is what you've done, and here's where we can be? Or is that a harder conversation?
No, I think like the way Mike wants it is honest and accountable. So I think if you face these issues front on, the biggest regret would be to not learn from what just happened. And I think that's what we're all trying to do. I think there's accountability on me, on the plan that I put together. So with the guys, so I think all of us have to look back at ourselves and say, okay, how can we grow from this situation? How can we improve the areas that we need to improve on? How do we not miss the good things that were there? Because there was some good things, and just look at it from a negative standpoint. And how do we grow?
How have you kind of felt they bounced back these last couple of days?
Great. Like I think today was a good job. They finished. They started kind of okay, and then got going, and then it was rolling. I feel like today was the first real time on the grass, so it was really going.
Where would you like to see the defense improve?
In all areas, really. I think the biggest area is communication. Communication and just consistency and fundamentals. Like, if you think back to when we came in here, we were really focusing on communication at all three levels. How does it sound? How do we work as a unit? That's an area that we have to grow, and that. Someone asked me last week, where do we go as this defense? And that's part of us, and that's the areas that, as we go through this journey this year, is that it's got to be constant growth. Like last week, to be honest with you, I think the communication took a step back. I think as we go, it takes a step forward and go from there.
Is that what wasn't to the standard?
What's that? Like I said, I thought we was talking about the effort. At times that wasn't, and the communication wasn't, obviously.
What do you feel like you've got to do with smart takeaways?
That's good. Like, we was talking about that too. I feel like if you look at the last two games before Monday night, I think the Dolphins game, the ball hit the ground 3 times, and I think the time before that, it hit the ground a couple of times. I feel the ball finds you if you play the right way. Like if you hit the ball and you're consistently running to the ball and you're tackling with violence and you're capping off as you're running to the ball will come loose. If you're covering tight and matching tight and you're rushing the right way, then the tips and overthrows, those things will come to life. I think when you don't, the kind of the signals that come with the ball is when you have a game and the ball didn't hit the ground or there weren't contested catches. So they're the things to me that we've got to make sure we have on a week-to-week basis that will bring the ball to life.
Is communication improving that in season? It's just a matter of kind of practicing it more?
Practicing it and just keep pushing it. Like understanding what we're saying and why we're saying it, playing ahead of the snap. These are the areas that you go through as you're building the game plan, go through in your meetings, and the coach is doing a great job with that.
Is that paramount in this particular defense, or is that true of any
No,
defense?
I think that's true in every defense. I think obviously communication is different in every defense, but I think any unit that works together, the communication has to be at a very, very high level.
Harder in this system, the changes you're asking of guys and different.
Well, not from the comparables that I've had. No, I don't think so.
So is it an awareness and recognition then that'll speed up the communication? So to play
Just
fast?
repetition, just repetition, and sometimes there's human things that hit. Like when adversity comes on top and things aren't going certain ways. How do we communicate? How do we work in moments that are stressful moments? They're growth of a unit. They're things that we're learning as a unit and we're getting it.
We talked to Rayshawn earlier, and he said he thought, guys might have been trying to do a little bit too much here and there, get a little bit out of what you guys are going to do. You kind of agree with that, and maybe guys trying to do that a little bit.
I wouldn't say that. I think you'd have to ask him about that. I think it's more like I said, as we're kind of moving forwards in the season, as we're growing as a unit, I think this is the first time we've been in that situation. How we react to that is kind of how we move forwards and how we grow.
Daniel Jones does not take a lot of shots downfield. It's a lot of short passes. So how do you create turnovers in that situation?
I think, as I said, you go back to who you are. Okay, so if you're asking me about at the start of your question, you asked about effort and how we play on the field. That is a big part of it. How we all approach the ball, how we hit the ball, how we get to the football, how we match and cover. Those things, to me, will bring the ball to life. And having an intent on the football, it's got to be a kind of way of life.
There's kind of a lot of different guys played on the defensive front. Did anybody really stand out to you up there at all?
Myles. I thought Myles Adams done a really good job.
Have you thought about the way your corners have played in the first quarter of the season?
Yeah, I thought, I really, you see I thought through the whole of camp and in moving into the season, I think Derick and Spoon and Tre have done a really good job. I think as we go through the season, as they build on that and as they keep working to focus in the moment, you'll see the growth there and keep going, but they're doing a great job.
In terms of the playing the right way and the ball finding you, is that applicable to that group in particular, maybe with interceptions?
Yeah, I think those things come. I don't think, when you asked about chasing plays, I don't think you can say, oh, I'm going to grab an interception, I'm going to sit on a route. You can't do those things because then suddenly the ball's flying over your head and you're jumping double, you're getting hit on double moves. You just got to play your fundamentals, your keys, and the unit of the philosophy of rush and cover. To me, that's how the ball comes to life. If you affect the quarterback, if you really affect the quarterback, you make him throw off target, you make him do those things, suddenly the ball comes to you.
What do you think of Tyrese Knight and the way he played in another fill-in game there?
Especially Tyrese does a great job of tackling the ball in space, and you see it's all over the tape. I think he grows week to week, and I think I'm really happy with his growth. I'm really happy with the way he takes the field in practice. He's starting to come out of himself more as a person as well, so he's getting more vocal on the field. He's doing a good job.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.